Hey, what's up, everybody? Audits of Freedom here. I came across a really interesting article the other day, actually like last week. It's kind of an unusual audit, but I'm feeling good and bad about it. I don't know how to react on it, so after I get it posted, pay real attention to the comments and the description, because I want you to read up about this here before everybody starts jumping to conclusions on this. As you can see, this sign up here saying it was condemned. Now all this is going on, it's been going on for I think about 5 years or so. So I'm gonna try to get some, I came out here today to get some B-roll, some footage of it to see if I can investigate it a little bit more of what's going on out here. To give you guys kind of a background of this place, I believe from what I read, if I read it right, this place right here used to be like it's like a church. There's a chapel, obviously, and then there's apartments here. And the city of Cape Coral, you know, again, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to research it more to find out what's going on, but there was a lot of building code violations, and from what I've been reading about it from this particular, they have their own website and they have their own Facebook page here, and also NBC did a nice smear story on this place as well. From what I've seen, it doesn't seem like the news people tried to help this place at all during this crisis they were going through. I think there was people living in here, they were paying rent. Again, with the background, these are elderly people, poor elderly people that will basically, they're going to be homeless if they don't have a place to stay. So that's kind of going to give you guys a clue of what my next few audits are going to be on, is the homeless situation in Cape Coral, Florida. Because from what I'm reading about, and from what I've the emails and the messages I've got about the homeless situation here, it sounds to me the city doesn't want it. They don't want them here. They are basically, you know, they don't want homeless people here. And the places that take care of the homeless, you read, just go to the Google reviews and read the thousands of comments on how they're treated. So normally I come by here and I see people. Oh, they even got a trespass sign here now. It's the same signs we see over at the public properties like the City Hall and all that stuff over by the Cape Coral Police Department. Usually you'll see some grandmothers out here smoking cigarettes. But like I said, I read a lot of stuff about this place, still reading up on it more. It seems like the Cape Coral, you know, and I could be wrong, was trying to slander this place and saying that a lot of their religious practices, which I'm still trying to look up that, and you guys might be able to help me on that. Sorry about the wind, guys. They said that a lot of their religious practices hasn't been used since the Dark Ages, whatever that means. I mean, does that mean like there's sacrifices or something? I don't know. But this is the building next to, it's the same property. And I guess this is where a lot of the people stay. You know, they need a place to stay. You don't want to see some old person in their 80s or 90s or anybody. You don't want to see anybody on the street. So again, today, this is just the beginning of it. I want to get some footage out here, see what's up. This is in Cape Coral. It's right over here behind the Remax. This Remax is pretty interesting too, because I was actually going to do an audit on this thing one day, because I seen out front they had blue line flags and stuff out there for a while. They took them down. I don't know if they just blew off, or and maybe they just weren't supporting the police. But I do remember they had the fire department and the blue line places, flags over here. So, as you can see, this is looks like a church, and they give people a place to stay. So I'm going to dig into this a little bit more. Like I said, today I just wanted to get some footage. I believe it backs up, there's a city alley up behind here. See, I mean, it's pretty clear that they're declaring war on Cape Cool. Now this has been up here, I think, about 4 or 5 years. I know they had a lot of issues with code enforcement. Seems like most of it was code enforcement because they didn't want them to, I don't even know. But now I did some more reading up about this place. Now I don't know if it's the same as the owner of this place. If it's the same guy now, it could be different. But the owner of this place made headlines, being that supposedly, actually it wasn't supposedly, it was true, he was convicted of it. There's a registered sex offender that runs this place, or that did run this place. And when I did some more research on it, it was out of California. He did jail time, and he also, it was a lewd act with a 14-year-old. So with the link that I put in the comments or on the description, you can go right to the articles. I'm going to put a bunch of them in there so you guys can kind of study it up with me, and you can see the articles where you can read up on the pastor or whoever it was. But yeah, right behind this building here, there's an alley. So we're going to work our way over to that. I'm just curious if lot of loud ass trucks out here today for a road that's just really not hardly traveled. See, the mailbox ain't there anymore. It's right here beside the Little People preschool. I wonder how that works out. I wonder if this place right here was over here when this place was open, because from my understanding, if you are a registered sex offender, you have to be a certain amount of feet away from schools and I think preschool places, I would imagine. And it's literally like right up on the property here. It's maybe the guy right here walking this way. So, again, it was 5 years ago, so he may end up being something differently now, but you guys stand by. I think I got somebody coming up on me here. All right, there's the signage there for it. Cool. Good deal. Hi there.
Just curious, what you doing?
Just taking some pictures.
Huh?
Taking pictures.
For any particular reason?
I'm doing an investigation, so I can't really reveal that to you until I'm done with my story of this property.
Huh?
Of this property.
Well, I'm the owner of this property, so
okay.
You couldn't be doing it for me.
Well, it's for somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm investigating the property, and again, it's just like with any story. I'm not trying to be rude. That's just I can't tell you my story until, you know.
But on whose authority do you have the right to come and photograph my property?
The First Amendment of the Constitution.
What's that?
The First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America. No meaning, not meaning any harm out here, but.
What's up?
I said I'm just a photographer that likes taking pictures and videos, and you're welcome to do that. That's your First Amendment right, sir. So you're the owner? Do you have a name? You have your name. What's your name?
It's a corporation.
What's your name?
It's a church.
Right.
I don't know what my name is.
It's probably in the newspaper articles, your name, right?
Huh?
You're probably in the newspaper articles about 4 or 5 years ago with your name. I'll find your name.
No matter. It's just,
Yeah. Well, I'm not on your property. I'm on the public street here, so I said I'm not on your property.
I'm not angry. I'm just curious what you're,
Yeah, I understand
doing
that.
for the city of Cape Coral, then we're going to have a problem.
Okay, well, what if I did work for the city of Cape Coral?
Well,
I'm on the sidewalk, and I'm not trying to cause anything. I done told you that. I meant no ill will. So this ought to be a really good story, guys. Really good story. And I truly believe, since he said he was the owner, this guy possibly was the sexual predator. He's registered as a sex offender, I believe. Now, if it's still that way, I'm not sure. But he had a whole problem with that. And I thought I handled myself very professionally there, guys. Again, they're elderly people. I don't want them to have a small heart attack. So I guess he's going to tell somebody in the back there. Wow. I wish there was just some way to talk to people, to make them understand that the camera is not their enemy. And who's to say I'm not going to reveal what my story is about to this guy? It hasn't even been published yet. And on top of that, who's to say that this video couldn't help this place? Because honestly, that was like 50% of my goal. If I found everything to be true on this property with the news articles, was to expose stuff and maybe help them out a little. But if you're just going to be like that, these are church. This is a church, guys. This is a chapel, Haven of Divine Love. I did not see any love there in that conversation. So anyway, your local weirdo out here recording. And once again, it always happens when I was just about to walk off the property. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to set you up with this tripod a little better here. So he's over there at that building, which is the same property. If you check my community post, it was about a week ago. I posted some that this may be a new audit. But yeah, I just basically wanted to find out what's going on with it. You heard what he said. It's like, so if I worked for the city of the Cape, which that's where they had their issues with the, building ordinance or whatever, then I would have a problem. He couldn't tell me what my problem would be. But I mean, I'm pretty sure there's hundreds of people, maybe more, that's taking pictures of these signs out here that says, it's not usual that you see a sign that says on the city that I live in. So I wouldn't imagine that he would call the police, because there's some of those were on the report too. You guys can go to their website. It's like a .net address and a Facebook page, but the web page is actually better, because they break down everybody's name that was involved coming after this place for code violations. It was something about people living in this over this chapel, and stuff that had to be fixed and wasn't being fixed. Or again, I don't know the full story. That's why I'm out here. So it's definitely made a lot of curiosity here with everybody. Yeah, I seen this guy when I first walked up. He kind of glanced over at me, but that's when he realized I had a camera. It was a problem. I mean, you would think that you wouldn't want anything negative said about this place, and you'd want to, if somebody's out here videoing, there he comes, you'd want to have a positive outlook. on these things. This is the guy right here. Sure. He lives right across the street in this fancy house. Or he's just, somebody's over there and he's telling them, whoever. There's a lot of people that run this property. And as you can see, I have not stepped foot on this property. I'm on the sidewalk. Boy, I can imagine the problems the city had when they came out here. Oh yeah, he went to the guy across the street and is alerting him of my presence out here recording on a sidewalk. But I would imagine that the city comes out here and makes sure that they're up to par on their ordinance. I just thought it was interesting that, you know, that they said that it was condemned. I mean, like, who wants to see a sign that a church has been condemned? I really didn't get any positive information from that gentleman. I wonder if he was the sex offender guy. This guy over here. I could be wrong about that, but maybe I should ask him. If he comes back over, I'll ask him. It's like Moses coming out of the garage over here with the Santa Claus beard. Right here beside a preschool. Maybe that's why they had to close it down, because he wasn't supposed to be here. And you can see that I'm, there's the water meters there, guys. So I'm on the, I don't even think this is their property right here. This should be all easement. I mean, the water things are backed up all the way over there. I just need to get and the sidewalk ends right there, and that's not their sidewalk. I'm really curious if this daycare, I mean, I thought there was some kind of rules and laws on if you're registered, no matter what it is. Yeah, some of that sexual crap is ridiculous. Like, it could have just been somebody peeing while they were drunk in the public. But this was a lewd act with a 14-year-old, and he went to jail for it. So, if it's the same guy. Alright, so we're going to pause this, and I'm going to work my way around that alley, guys. Be right back. Alright, guys. So we've made it. You can see that this is, if you check the poles out here, this is all public access. Giggity wiggity. So now we are behind the building, or behind the daycare right now. And if there was kids out there playing, since I'm such a respectful auditor most of the time, I would not be recording them. There might be voices and sounds, but let's don't get it twisted. Audits of Freedom is not a pervert or a sexual predator, unless I'm sexually predating my woman, but that's about it. So this is the back of the building that was condemned. Oh, here we go. Sitting back here. See, some of these people live here, and I would love to have, I'd love to hear from them, but I would imagine that they're pretty afraid to talk. It looks like they've done a lot to this building, though, so obviously... Oh, there's no power meter there? I don't even know if this place has even got power. I know the last thing I read, they cut off the water and everything here. So... but I imagine that this is a free place for these people to live. They're not going to want to talk about it. There's the back of the property here. It's a nice mongoose bike. One with no seat. Probably thinks they left. This is the back of the property. Jesus statue sitting there. Bushes are perfect for blocking cameras. I can't see in the bush. The bush is too thick. But yeah, the first 10 minutes of being here, I start catching hell. And then, you know, to a point, again, they even got their own little laundromat. Key in the window. To a point, again, curiosity is, there's nothing wrong with that. But to a point, you know, nobody wants to really reveal their story. And there's no telling where this story will go, so. It's the back of it. So I don't know if there's like 20 apartments or 10 apartments or whatever, because I can't count. I think that's a number. I don't know. I'm just messing with you guys. I smell dumpster though. This is the Remax property here. And for those that you are from this area, this is like that tire specialty place over here, a little shopping plaza. So there's the other side of it there. So we're just gonna walk around here. All American Title Services. Just gonna cut through their parking lot here. This is the other side of the building. Yeah, who knows? Maybe Cape Coral City. I mean, I don't really want to help them, but at the same time, if I'm gonna catch shit just for recording out here, then I don't care. Cape Coral can use this video footage all they want if they see something that's out of whack out here. Because number one, from what I read, a lot of those code violations will hurt people that live here. Meaning a stairwell might not be up to code, a sink, a bathtub might fall through the ceiling, the roof might fall in. This is why the code enforcement is here. And if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe just about all churches have a where they don't pay any taxes. I think they're tax-free. So there's the declares war thing. So basically we just came back around the other side of the property here. This guy over here is like, what in the hell, Bobby? I don't see my buddy in the Nissan that stated he was the owner. $2315. I'll get you the address on the way out here, guys. Haven of Divine Love. Please, please, please read the description, and I'm going to keep loading it in the comments too, all the articles on this place. Let me know what you guys think about this. And we'll see. Trying to get some footage of them signs there. That's what this place is here. And again, I'm not, the people that are staying here, like there's an old lady looking at me right now that probably lives here. I'm not here to raise any or cause any harm, or and pretty much the whole Cape Coral Police Department knows that I'm not out here to cause harm. And they should know me by now. I'm not out to bait the police like other channels. It's bullshit. Like they got a refrigerator on the side here. I don't know if that's operatable or just trash sitting there. Yeah, there's all kind of conversations going on out here. But yeah, I mean, his whole demeanor of him coming towards me like that is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Well, I'm getting the voice already, guys. Huh? Oh, I'm just taking some photography pictures.
Oh, you can what?
I'm just taking some pictures. I mean, you got all these signs that say that you're declaring war on Cape Coral, and I'm just doing some research on it.
Oh.
That's all. I don't mean any ill to anybody.
No, I thought maybe for the city or something.
No, absolutely not. I don't work for the city.
Okay.
The other guy thought I did, and he didn't like me being out here. I think he said he was the owner, but it was like, I can't tell you my full story or else, you know what I mean? But I'm 100% sure I'm not here to pick on anybody, or I'm not here for the city. Have a good day. Nice lady. And see, that's how the conversation should go, guys. I mean, just, you know what I mean? I can't tell if that old guy flipped me off. Yeah, I can see another guy over there staring at me now. So he's relaying, or she's relaying, the nice old lady's relaying the message. I should have got her name. This guy back here is smart. He's back here. He waved. You know, and from what I understand too, guys, there might be like some mentally ill or dementia people here, and I don't want to sit there and freak the hell out of somebody over here. So I'm staying out on the sidewalk where I belong, just getting some footage. The video tells all, guys. All right, well, this is probably going to be a continued audit out here off and on until we get it right. I want to find out more about this. I also most definitely want to find out that this place right here, the little people, I just don't know if they know that the owner of this property is a registered sex offender, and I swear he's supposed to be a certain amount of feet away from a property. I mean, and schools and stuff like that. So you guys can leave your comments for me. Let me know. So this is Audits of Freedom, and I'm out.